Tuesday morning.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shot of Sports podcast. Grab a drink. A snack is your weekly dose of sports, where we'll break down and do a deep dive of the world of sports. Whether you're a casual fan or a diehard, we're here to bring you the latest, the best analysis, and the hottest takes. I'm your host, Jalen Nicholson Bourne. Like, share, and subscribe, and smash the like button for us, and then also hit the notification bell on the right so you can be notified whenever we drop, and so you won't miss one. Well, today, everybody, got a new
Finally.
person on here. He's finally here and he
It's
decided to
about
wake up.
time.
It's my
So
bedtime, man. It's my bedtime, but I'm here. I'm ready to go.
I was
go
gonna say he
ahead.
decided to stay awake.
Time for
Third shifter.
dedication, baby. Let's go.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, my friend.
All right, I am Nolan Kapodlowski, or as you see on the screen, Nolan Copy for short. I'm a news producer and a sports aficionado, some have said, and met all these fine gentlemen on our radio and television shows, and really excited to be linking back up and talking some sports here.
Awesome. I've been knowing this guy for ever since I've been at what was it, Whitewater. So I will say he is
Reppin'.
he's a big warhawk. So
Hey, all I gotta
we're
say
gonna
is,
start
bro,
with
Nolan is
some
next.
some breaking news that actually just dropped like 5 minutes ago before we even got on. So Lillard is playing in game 2
That's
after
right, he
not playing
is.
since March
That's
18th.
right, he is.
Are we
Lillard
shocked?
is back.
Are we shocked? No.
Well, a little bit. I would say I have a slight amount of shock regarding this, and
He's
the
rushing
reason
through.
is because it feels like a little bit of a rush, and
It
I
is.
think what influenced that rush was that little excursion with Tyrese Halliburton towards the end of game 1, right?
Yeah.
Halliburton, we know how Halliburton likes that. He's a talented basketball player, don't get me wrong, but we know that he likes to say things when he's up and when he's up big. When he's losing, nothing's being said, right? So I think what happened in that situation kind of made Lillard think about playing game 2. Otherwise, the plan felt like it was game 3 all along. Come back at home, come back to raucous applause and people throwing money and flowers and babies at you, and go ahead, drop 45 points, win game 3. But now it means something to him. Now playing game 2 means something to him, but I feel like it was a little bit rushed. And I'm curious to see if Doc is going to have him on a minutes restriction or if he's just going to be primary facilitator, how he's going to look on defense too. I'm curious as to how this is going to look.
Well, I don't think his body's like destroyed. I think he's pretty well rested. It's just the deep vein thrombosis. I just don't know how that works, but everything else throughout his body, I'm pretty sure is fresh. So it's
Well,
just
they were
worrying about that leg
they were worried.
or
The
shoulder.
initial worry with thrombosis like that is that it's a clot in your calf or
Yeah.
primarily in your legs somewhere. But the fear is that it's going to get closer to vital organs, and
Yeah.
that's why they're so apt and so quick to stopping that the
They found it
second they
early
knew it
though.
was that.
Yeah, they
They
found it
found it
really
early,
early.
and it's as
They
far
said it
as
cleared up.
as far as it sounds, it's gone. Like it's just completely gone, which
Yeah.
Right.
is the most ideal result you want from having deep vein thrombosis. Most people will have a clot largely cleared up or at least broken up, and then eventually the body just kind of takes care of itself. But some people have to just live with managing it for a very long time. So the fact that Damian Lillard was able to get past it in 3 weeks, that's almost superhuman for
Super.
him to
Right.
get past it in 3 weeks. And now he's playing in a playoff game tonight.
Well, if you find it early, you have a great chance of getting rid of it pretty early as well. So that's how that kind of works, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I think personally, I think you should wait till Friday because that's the smart thing to do. You come back home. If anything happens, you can go home. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to be in Indiana hospital or something if something goes wrong. So I don't know. I think he should have came back Friday. I think we could have had it tonight. Um, but I think there's a scare of us going down 0-2, which is, I guess, fair. But
And here's my thing is I think that I don't necessarily think it was rushed. I think that if the doctors are giving him the all clear, he's not going to just go out there, against their will. I think that everything is good. I think that he'll be all right, but I think the Bucks are still going to lose this game. I think that he's just not going to be his typical self, and maybe he rushed it in the sense that he's just not mentally ready to come back. I know Sam talked about their altercation, with Tyrese Halliburton, but I don't know. Something is just telling me that the Bucks are going to go down, 0-2 in this series, and it just seems like, every time, at least in Wisconsin sports, they probably don't feel like this in LA or New York, but every time where it's like, something's coming to save us, think back to the Giannis injury a couple years back in the playoffs. It just doesn't work out. They're not as good as we think they're going to be coming back off of an injury, or, the team just is not good around them. Now, I think that it was very encouraging, obviously, to see the Bucks, only lose by a smaller margin than it could have been, and they shot terrible last game. But I don't know. I have a sneaky suspicion that the Pacers are going to be on fire again. Dame is not going to be the savior that a lot of Bucks fans think he's going to be, at least in game 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see. Like I said, before the playoffs started, that Damian Lillard is the key, and if he's healthy and he's playing, I think the Bucks gonna be the scariest team in the East. So that's how I looked at that, and it's because we've seen how they looked without him, and they look horrific. I mean, not saying that they would look like that tonight if he wasn't to come back and wait to game 3, but you just can't take that chance. I mean, you can't take that chance of Kyle Kuzma going over from the field again and have all 0 stats like Tony Snell did.
Yeah,
so
he's not doing that again, though.
No, I was gonna say I don't think he's doing that again. That's
it was the jitters,
a fluke.
man.
A and B, his usage was so down in game 1 too. I mean, to Doc's credit, that's more likely to happen. That situation where he gets absolutely nothing in the box score at the end of the game, if he doesn't touch the ball nearly half as much as he was down the stretch of the season. So that makes sense in a way, but at the same time, he's not doing that again.
He's not a good number 2. I mean, we've all known that he was traded to be a number 3 and athletic piece off in their starting lineup, because that's exactly what they needed. They didn't need a stiff Chris Middleton sitting in the corner all the time. But see, the thing about Kuzma, he gets the rebounds, the assists. Like he can score a little bit, and that'll help the team tremendously. So I don't think
he will be the biggest benefactor of Dame coming back. 100%. He will. Yeah, the pressure is going to be off him, like you said, to be a number 2. Because again, when he's been a top guy or a top 2 guy, I mean, look at him in Washington. He was terrible. He just does not operate good. But when he doesn't have the pressure on him, he is a nice piece, and I think he's going to be the biggest benefactor of Damian Lillard being healthy here.
I'm excited.
So we're going to do that for that one. We're going to jump into the first topic I wanted to talk about before we break down the playoffs. And today we're going to do our NFL mock draft, to where, we're going to try to pick all 32 teams within, before the show being over. But I wanted to look at what NIL, Kirk Herbstreit on Fridays said, college football analysis. He gave his thoughts on the NIL and what's it doing to college sports on the Pat McAfee show. So what does he mean by that? And I'm going to play the clip that he used on there.
When you hear NIL, what does that stand for?
Name, image, likeness, potential.
Right. So basically marketing. It's marketing. It's not a pay for play situation where
Thank you.
Booster whoever from whatever school can say, hey, that guy's available. Hey, let's go spend $10 million. That's not what this market was supposed to be about. That's not what this is. And the idea of that still existing or continuing to exist is not healthy. Collectives are not healthy. Boosters paying for players is not healthy. NIL is healthy. Like if Nico could have created money and opportunities in the marketing world off his name, image, and likeness in Knoxville in the state of Tennessee, more power to him. If Jeremiah Smith in the state of Ohio and the city of Columbus right now off of his name, image, and likeness can create millions of dollars, more power to him. But the idea of some booster saying, hey, we need a tight end, let's go get this guy, we'll just outbid him, just go get him. That's not what this is about. That's not what name, image, and likeness is about. We're not pay for play, and the whole thing is a disaster. I'm all about paying these guys, but let's do it. Let's be responsible. Let's help these guys grow and develop as people, and not just rely on boosters to outbid one another for these guys to be playing at their school. It's silly.
And he's right with all of that. He's entirely correct. It's turned into free agency. And I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago too, where at some point, do the Power 4 schools and like some of the Group of 5 schools just break away and become their own league. Like that's what it's turning into. It's turning into free agency. And then the thing with Nico Yamaliva going to UCLA, and then I forget his first name, last name Aguilar, quarterback for UCLA. They just swap places. Are we unlocking trades in college football now? Like, is that what this has turned into? This isn't college sports anymore. This is just a professional, like it's a new professional league with an age restriction now. More or less, you have 4 or 5 years in this league, maybe more if you get hurt or if you find some other loophole. And now it's just turned into making trades, signing free agents. You have to hope and pray that your best players want to stay at Iowa this year instead of going to Colorado State. You have to hope and pray for that. And that's what's so annoying about college sports now.
And even in big schools, you are praying that your players are going to stay, because if somebody has a good year, even on a high caliber team like a Michigan or an Alabama or a Georgia or whatever, now more often than not they are going to have the highest bids. But you better believe that if they have a good year, they're going to go out and test their value on the market, and there's no loyalty to teams anymore. And again, I agree with him that I think that NIL was great. We should be able to pay players for things like jersey sales, using their likeness on a jersey, using their likeness in a video game, things like that, sponsorships, what have you. But it shouldn't be, look, here's the school that, they're going to go out and get somebody now, and it's only hurting player quality. Like, it's actually hurting the players because they aren't really focused on improving and getting better anymore. They're focused on, okay, how am I going to make the biggest bag? I'm not going to stay at one school. I'm going to have a good year. I'm going to have this one really good year, and then I'm going to go out and get a super big NIL deal here while I'm at college for the rest of the time. And I just think that it is hurting the level of play around college football. It's going to hurt these players when they get into the NFL. And I just think that the way they're doing it, like he said, like Kirk Herbstreit said, is just not the way that it should be going. It was meant for one thing, and it is being completely abused.
I don't think players should be getting paid that much whatsoever. I think it ruined the game for me, like 100%. Because when you're coming out of high school and you have to experience college as a young adult and play the sport at a collegiate level or a high level, if you're one of those players, your focus should be on that. You should be able to get those scholarships and go to school and have a good time and live your life. You shouldn't have to, be in business mode already. You should want to play the sport that you love to play. It for me is just, when you get money like that, it kind of ruins your motivation. I feel like from a distance, from a fan perspective, you can just tell some people aren't as invested as they should be, as they were when we were in high school or in middle school or something, when we would see like Cam Newton play. Like, he was getting paid under the table, but not to that level. I mean, you would be able to tell if he was a Heisman level, one of the best quarterbacks we've seen in college. So I mean, it ruins the game for me. That's just my personal opinion on it, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's my mom. When I was when all this just started, she was talking about how what happened to when education used to be the biggest draw to go to college. Like when we was even coming up, it was about going to the top schools and playing for the best elite programs. And yeah, you wanted to get money, you wanted to get paid, obviously, but you felt great at being at the top school or being at one of the highest schools, so you can get drafted quickly or get the scouts to even take a chance on you. But like Sam said, is all about free agency now. But when it comes down to what are we gonna have agents? Are we gonna have?
You do have agents.
Like, some do already.
Yeah.
They're actually having college basketball is having GMs.
See, the thing with basketball, it's a little different than football. They don't get paid as much as the highest football players do. I don't know why. I don't know what that is. But
it's going to ramp up to it. It's going to ramp up to it.
But it's going to get to it. Like, you're going to have GMs in college for football, basketball. Like, they have GMs now. They're creating positions to where now you're going to be a GM, and now you're going to be told to go scout high school players. Like you're a pro. Like, you're going to a professional level. That's where this became, and
not only that, it's not only that they're scouting high school guys, because that's always happened, right? It's not even just that. but they're taking a little bit of a different stance on that now too. They want to make sure that the guys that they're recruiting out of high school are going to be there for multiple years now. But they're also scouting guys in the portal or that they think are going to be in the portal and treating that as free agency. They're treating that as in the offseason, you call the agent and say, hey, how about 1 year, $4 million for, let's say, John Tonje had an extra year of eligibility, or let's go John Blackwell. John Blackwell is technically in the portal right now because he decided to go to the NBA draft. Let's say Utah State calls up Greg Gard and says, hey, we want John Blackwell for $4 million 1 season. And they call Blackwell's agent, do the same thing. And then they make a deal. It's free agency at some point. And I don't think it would be a bad thing for the sport. I really don't. But at some point, these larger academic institutions, like the ones with the massive football programs and the massive basketball programs and all the booster money coming in, BYU, for example, they have the most booster money coming in, period. At some point, we need to take these. At some point, we need to take these teams and create their own feeder league, their own developmental league for all of these professional sports. It has to happen. There's too much. NIL has gotten so out of hand to where you have team budgets now. Like this is ridiculous. Your budget used to be how many scholarships can we afford to give out? Now it's how much money do we have coming in so I can give $7 million to AJ DeBonsa to come to BYU. Like he's the number 1 basketball recruit. He should be at Duke. UNC.
I strongly disagree that they should have their own league. I think that is just completely catering to them, and you're just going to break the system even more. These other schools are not going to be. You won't have college basketball anymore. It'll only be those schools that go off into the league because no college player is going to want to go to this little school over here. Maybe they'll have some smaller low-level talent, but everybody who is good enough to play college basketball is going to want to go over there. And so then you're going to have fewer and fewer players over here. You're going to have teams shutting down their college programs who aren't in that prestigious league. What you need to do is you need to set some sort of salary cap on the NIL. Like, obviously it's not going to be a formal salary cap, but there should be a limit to how much you can kind of spend on players like that, because otherwise we're already seeing the ramifications of this in like college basketball. Now, I'm not one of the people who think that NIL has completely ruined college basketball, and all those people who saw a super chalk bracket this year and all the 1 seeds in the Final Four and said, "Oh, NIL is ruining college basketball." I disagree. I think there will still be upsets, and I think that there will still be Cinderellas. I think this was just kind of a chalk year. It happens. It's happened before. But I do think that we will see a fewer amount of upsets total as we go on, because these top schools, and this is not just basketball, this will go in every sport because of NIL, these top schools will be able to recruit the best players constantly. Obviously, nobody's going to want to go to any of these smaller schools who can't offer them, enough money. They're going to go where the money is. And so you're just going to have these top heavy programs. And, that's kind of what we saw this year. That's the part where NIL kind of came in this year, is because it's not like, there weren't a lot of upsets, but it's like the top teams were just so much better, head and shoulders better than everybody else. Like the top 1 and 2 seeds even were better than like the 4 and 5 seeds, which, those games should be competitive. And a lot of them were not. We didn't really get great games until the Final Four, And I just think that's where NIL comes in. And again, it's not as bad in basketball as it is in football right now, but it is going to ramp up to that. And it's just a recipe for disaster right now. You need to set some sort of cap on how much these schools can spend, or they're going to just recruit everybody.
I wonder if we're going to have trades next. So we're going to have trades during, we're going to trade some kids and, go to that school for this semester and crap.
But imagine you get traded to like a really bad school. Like imagine like BYU, oh, you're underperforming, and BYU trades you to like,
Maryland Eastern
like
Shore,
South Dakota State, or like a UMBC. These guys
you've
would just
been
sit
blessed.
out. They would be like, yeah, I'm not playing here. Like I'm not going to do this.
Congratulations, you've been traded to West Georgia.
Oh, literally.
All right. So we're going to leave that there. I believe trades are coming for the NIL, which is insane. So the NBA playoffs started this past weekend, and let me tell you, it's been interesting. The headline is that the Memphis Grizzlies were dog walked by the OKC Thunder by 51 points on Saturday. So they run it back tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, which I still think they might lose by 20. But while Steph is just continuing to just beat on the Rockets every single season, and I don't think they can ever I don't think they will beat Steph Curry within this era. So,
Nope.
here's the bracket, everybody, so we can break it down. And the Clippers came back to win against the Nuggets last night. Even
That was
though
impressive.
and then the Pistons found a way to even the series in New York. So they got one on the road. So now home court advantage sits with, the Detroit Pistons.
Hey, now, let me tell you something, man.
They're coming.
I'm gonna start from the from the bottom left. Let me tell you something, bro. Try telling everybody. Nobody's a Steph stopper.
Who are you telling? I've already believed this.
No. There's some people is in the chat saying, Rockets are young. Nope. There was no Curry stopper. There never will be. There never has been, unless you're thinking of 2016 when he still wasn't being stopped. So, listen, Warriors in 6. I'll give the Rockets 2. But if they win tonight, it's over. If the Warriors win tonight, I don't think there's a very good chance to get swept. I'm not gonna lie. They're not gonna go back to Golden State and win one or both games. It's not gonna happen. But if we're looking at the Lakers and Timberwolves, that one kind of concerns me a little bit. I'm not gonna.
I told you, I said it. I said the Wolves were probably canned. I think out of all the teams right now in the first round, where you think of an upset, I think the Wolves would have won the best one that could upset.
That one concerns me a little bit. I'm not convinced that the Lakers are gonna lose that series, but that game was not something to just look past. That was a pretty good ass whooping. So I mean, I'm going to be shocked if the Timberwolves kind of pull that off. I'll be honest, but if they do, they do. Congratulations to them. They do. If the 6 and 7 seed play second round, there's going to be some good NBA ratings. That's all I got to say. The Clippers, I got Clippers in the 6th. I'm not surprised by last night. I don't know if that's just me. I'm not gonna act like I'm surprised. Their team overall is just a little bit better to me. Besides Jokic, without Jokic on the court, the Clippers just destroy them. So it's just they're gonna have to figure that out. And OKC's gonna, man, I hate to say it, I love Ja, but they're gonna probably sweep the Grizzlies. So I'll leave the East to you guys, but that's my West predictions.
I don't. The Cavs looked okay. I don't think they looked really like they were going to be dominant like in the playoffs like the OKC Thunder are. But I still think the Cavs can get to this conference finals. But if they end up playing Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee's going to beat them. So, but as it looks to the Boston Celtics, it was scary the first half, but like they always do in the second half. They lock in, they just take over the game, and Derek White hit 7 threes.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
And Jason Tatum and them had a mediocre night. So
he's not doing that again. Let's be honest. No way. 7 3.
He had a mediocre night, so it looks like the Celtics are already going to be in the conference finals. So
I think people are underestimating the Pistons here a little bit. I
love them.
I think that the Pistons are. You talk about the team that has the best chance of upsetting in the first round here, as far as seeding goes. I would say the Pistons. I would say the Pistons over the Knicks. Maybe I'll give it to the Warriors. I think the Warriors a little bit more than them, but just because I think the Rockets are too young for the playoffs.
Warriors are favored in that series. So
right.
You
So I mean, if you even want to count that one as an upset, but the Pistons I think have a legitimate chance to beat the Knicks, and I think that if they get past New York, I think that they will give Boston trouble. I'm not saying they're going to win that series. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I could see it going to 6. I think that's a good young team. I think that Cade Cunningham, I don't know. They just have been super hot headed into the playoffs. This is a team with a lot of momentum, which again, you just can't. I can't stress enough how important that is in basketball. Like momentum, I know it's different in the NBA because you have a week off, but I just think that team is playing with a lot of confidence right now, and I'm really excited to see them on Thursday. On Thursday, play again for Game 3 because I think that team is going to be dangerous down the stretch, and if they get hot, if they beat the Knicks, and maybe they shock the Celtics. I don't know.
Say is, man, if they had Jaden Ivey instead of Dennis Schroeder,
they'd look like a lot better. But I don't think them beating the Knicks is really an upset, though.
I agree. The Knicks aren't impressive to me, man. Like it's an upset. Don't get me. It is an upset.
It's going to be the total like the number wise. Yes, it's going to be an upset, but
it's just not. They're not a convincing team to me. No. Like Cat went 0 for 3 in the second half yesterday. Didn't put up a point or a stat.
On paper, on paper, it's an upset. If you
Right,
look,
that's what I mean,
if you
yeah.
go player for player, it's 100% an upset.
Odds wise, it's
Absolutely.
an upset.
I think that looking at the Pistons at the beginning of this year, right? They're coming off from being one of the most perennially bad teams in basketball since the last time they made the playoffs in 2018, which that was just skating by the skin of their teeth, right? They have been they have been terrible every single year since 2018, up until late last season when we saw them start turning things around and thinking, ooh, maybe they can make some noise in a couple years. Not this season, but in a couple years, they can make some serious noise. I'm not saying they overachieved. I thought they were going to be a play-in team from the jump. I thought they were going to be like a 10-9 seed possibly, but they made it as the 6, and they got a guaranteed playoff spot. I think everything that happens past here is just icing on the cake. They got their playoff win. They got their first playoff appearance since 2018. They got a playoff win on the road, no less, in New York, which is one of the tougher places to play in basketball.
Yeah.
Anything that happens past here is icing on the cake. They've had a successful season, and they're playing with no pressure. The whole point of me saying all this is they're playing with zero pressure whatsoever. There's no pressure for them to do anything past this. They do not care. They simply do not care if they win by 1 or lose by 50. They are in the playoffs. They have achieved exactly what they wanted to achieve this year, which was make it past the play-in and get a playoff win. Everything past this, icing on the cake, they're playing with zero pressure, and that should scare the New York Knicks.
Hey, shout out Tobias Harris, man. I mean, literally, he upgraded like crazy. I did not think. Look, I'm a big Tobias Harris hater because of the Jimmy Butler situation. But hey, got to put your hands up and be like, hey, congratulations to you, man. You were playing on a playoff team at a good level. So
look how everybody turned out when they lead the Sixers.
Oh yeah,
That's all I say.
Maxie, you're next.
So we'll get back into some more NBA playoff talk on Thursday. We got games tonight. We got the Timberwolves tonight. You got the Thunder tonight, and the Bucks play tonight, don't they?
Yes, sir.
They do.
Yep.
They do.
They should be on TNT.
3
but-
games tonight, fellas. So we'll be watching for sure. But now it's time for the biggest time, the NFL draft. We're gonna have our NFL mock draft today. We're gonna do a mock draft where we look at each team in the first round, and we're gonna make our picks for them. And we're gonna try to be 1 minute for each team so we can get through all 32. And let's start. Sam's actually going to take the lead on napping, and I believe that can somebody write our picks down.
I encourage you guys to open up the PFF mock draft simulator if you can, and just select all the teams. Right, so that's what I'm doing here. That's how I'm tracking it. But yeah, there's the draft order. We're gonna assume no trades for the sake of this mock draft. We're just gonna assume no trades, just to simplify things. But I've put all 4 of our names into a random order generator. I'm just clicking it as I go right now. A whole bunch of random names. Someone tell me when to stop.
Hold on 1 second. And then before we go, we do have some videos from Drew, who's out there, who was up there, I think was last night. He sent us a video. Stage is up. That's Lambeau Field to the right.
We will be there.
And it's time to, get ready. It's time. They're up. Everything's up, and the draft is 48 hours from today.
All right, so I stopped clicking the random list generator. We're just going to rotate every 4 teams. So the first pick, the Titans, Jalen is going to have the first pick. I will have the second pick with the Browns. Nolan is going to have the third pick with the Giants, and Nazir, you have the 4th pick with the Patriots, and we will just go in rotation from there. So Jalen will have the Jags, I'll have the Raiders, Jets will go to Nolan, Nazir will have the Panthers, etc. All right. So Jalen, you are on the clock as the Tennessee Titans. Who are you taking?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Come on, this one's a gimme.
Let me get.
It's a hard one.
It's tough because Tennessee needs a lot. These all
They can go like 4 or 5 different ways here. They could.
Personally, I'm going defense. That's just me though.
That's exactly
they are
what
not taking.
let me take. I'm taking Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter.
Wow.
Carter.
Good pick. I like that. I think we
They
said it
don't have
last week
nobody
or
on
2
the
weeks ago.
defensive line at all. Like
We said it a couple weeks ago. Their biggest glaring need on defense is the pass rush. Their run defense was good. Their run defense was good last year. Their secondary needs work, and their pass rush was pretty bad. You say what you want about the quarterback situation, but I agree with Jalen here because I'm a firm believer in build up everything else and then find your franchise guy once everything's ready to
I
go.
completely agree.
You guys are
All right.
thinking you guys
Bro.
are thinking too smart. You think that the Tennessee Titans, they are pressured to take a quarterback. If you're sitting at number
No,
1
bro.
with Will Levis as your starter, you are pressured
Dude,
to take a QB.
Mr.
Especially when
Mayo
Abdul
is going
Carter
to
has
be
a
fine.
fracture in his foot.
Give some
He will.
foundation
I
around
agree.
it.
I'm in complete agreement. I think that if the Titans were smart, they would take Abdul Carter. Will they take Abdul Carter? 100% no.
So I'm the second pick. I already took Travis Hunter while we were debating that. That's just very simple second pick. If you're the Browns and Abdul Carter goes 1, you have no other option. You can't really cut ties with Deshaun Watson yet. You still owe him all that guaranteed money. You brought in Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco to be quarterbacks of the team for 1 year. They're not going to go quarterback this year. They're going to ride with Travis Hunter, the best player on the board. So pick number 3, Nolan. You are the Giants.
I was thinking Will Campbell, but I am thinking that the Giants, they have Russell Wilson as their quarterback, who
Jameis
has
Winston too.
My guy.
and who?
Jameis Winston as well.
Jameis. Yeah, oh yeah. So
Watch it.
obviously guys who are not super looking in the future, and if for some reason Cam Ward does fall to 3, they will 100% take Cam Ward. So I'm going to go Cam Ward here for the Giants.
Cam Ward goes 3rd to the New York Giants. Nas, you have Drake May's New England Patriots. Mike Vrabel, now the head coach there.
Okay. So, knowing Mike Vrabel, he'll probably go defense because he's a Belichick prodigy. I'm trying to find the hold on. My thing's not working. 1 sec. Okay.
The top 5 defensive guys right now are 2 D
Mason
linemen,
Graham.
Mason Graham, Walter Nolan, edge rusher Mike Green, Jahdae Barron, and Jahad Campbell are the best defensive guys available.
I think from a defensive mind, they're gonna need something on their D line, or they need a linebacker or D lineman. That's just my opinion on that. Or a running back would be great too. But man,
So do they pull the trigger on Genty? I mean,
No
you're the Patriots here. You make the play.
no way. I'm gonna go Mason Graham. Mason Graham for sure.
Mason Graham
good pick.
heading to New England.
It's a really good. pick.
Jalen, you
So
have.
I'm gonna let you take your Jaguars. That's your
You want me to say? All right, I appreciate that.
Right.
We'll switch for this one. Well, you know exactly where I'm going. Then it's going to be Ashton Genty, and the reason being is because no, it's not a glaring need at running back. It really isn't. And yes, maybe it's a stretch to take a running back in the top 5, but Ashton Genty just had one of
that's a
the
good
best
one, yeah.
seasons in college football history as a running back. And at your position, if you're the Jaguars, Travis Etienne fell off a cliff.
Yep.
Tank Bigsby has not shown me enough to justify. If I'm Liam Cohen, he has not shown me enough quite yet to justify making him the RB1. Ashton Genty is sitting in the palm of your hand. And sure, you got other guys that could fill a position and lead as well. Like Ted McMillan is there. You could maybe pull the trigger early on Tyler Warren if you want to go tight end.
No.
But Ashton Genty is the best guy available, A, and B, he fills a need both now and long term. Maybe it's not the most glaring need, but that's the pick the Jags are going to make.
Wait, I have a question though for you, man. Because
Yeah.
when you have a running back, you kind of need an O line. Do you have a good O line for running?
I don't think their
It's
O-line is that
been
bad.
worse in the past.
It
It's
has
been
been
worse
worse.
in the past,
I
but
agree.
it's not the greatest offensive line in the NFL.
Not the,
But
But it's
basically
certainly
what
not.
you're saying,
Go O-line?
It's.
not the-
I think it's right around the middle tier. It's
Well,
right.
should you
It's
go
between
O-line
like the
then?
10 and 20.
If
It's
you
not
go
the
O-line,
Bears
could-
O-line is what
you
you're
could-
saying.
You could always go offensive line. But running back wise, I just think that's the way to go. Plus, there's a lot of linemen in this draft. This is a lineman heavy draft as is. You're going to see them take guys in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. That it's just You have the opportunity of a lifetime taking Ashton Genty. You cannot pass that up.
Okay.
So
Well,
let's go, Jalen. Now the 6th pick, the Raiders. We made our own little trade so I could take my Jags.
Let me do Shador Sanders.
wow.
Shador
To Vegas?
Shador Sanders to the
It's been
Vegas
hot.
Raiders.
They've been trying to get Shador ever since since the beginning of the college football season. He's been at the Vegas Aces game.
Oh, you don't think they're sold on Geno?
Anyways.
Well, they did just extend Geno recently.
Whatever.
They did
They're
just
not.
extend him.
I think
So-
that's a good pick. I think that if Genty's gone, Shador is going to be the pick.
That's
Kind of
exactly what I was
surprised,
thinking.
but-
Yeah, if Shador, if Genty's not there for the Raiders, then I think it goes Shador.
All right, let's go to Nolan at number 7 with the Jets.
All right, here's another player that I think is 100% not going to be here actually on draft night. But again, if I'm drafting as the New York Jets right now and Will Campbell falls into my lap, I'm 100% taking the best offensive tackle in the draft to protect Justin Fields. And,
That just sounds wrong, bro. It just sounds different.
It does sound weird. It sounds very weird.
Protect Fields, and he's in a whole New York uniform. Bro.
Will Campbell is the best tackle on the best offensive lineman in this draft. I think he's going to go to the Patriots when things actually shake out NFL draft time. But again, if for some reason he falls to the Jets, which in RC's here, they are taking him. Absolutely.
Wow.
Nazir, Panthers, 8th
Well-
pick.
All he needs is a wideout. Or I don't know, man. He needs a wideout or an edge rusher. I'm stuck between McMillan or Mike Green. That's a tough one. Mike Green's tough, man. But I'm gonna go McMillan. Bryce Young with a quarterback or with a wide receiver is going to be
That's a smart play. I
Yeah.
agree. That's a smart play to do.
Yeah.
Jalen, I'll let you take your Bears, so I'll go Saints here, and then we'll for sure switch back.
Right.
So just to pay it forward. Saints.
They need something.
They have
I
a
don't
few
know what
needs,
they need.
especially offense. They really just need everything. But
I
I'm
don't
gonna go
know what-
Walter Nolan here. I think this is just best player on the board pick. There's really not much to say about it. Their offensive line isn't the worst need. Yes, Ryan Ramczyk retired. No, that doesn't mean they have to go offensive line. I think if Shador didn't get taken by the Raiders in our mock at 6, I'd be taking Shador right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
100% would be.
He would
So,
be really
but
good.
this is-
Everything falls
this
on
is-
Genty.
And this is best player on the board pick. And honestly, like I said, we're not doing trades just to simplify things today. But if Shador goes, I let the Saints trade out. I think they trade down and go lower in the first round so they can set themselves up for another quarterback named Jackson Dart.
Wow.
I just
saw
think that's
one-
the way they go.
I saw one mock draft that had the Saints taking Jackson Dart at 9 over Shador Sanders,
That's no.
which
That's
is just
kinda
the
that's not going to
craziest thing.
happen.
I think that's the craziest thing I have seen.
Crazy as
I
this cycle.
think I would be confident in saying that I believe Jackson Dart will end up having the better career than Shador Sanders, but
Nope.
immediately, Shador's the pick.
Nope.
And in the immediate future, Shador's the pick. I think Jackson Dart will have the better career.
Absolutely not.
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart
That's
is
my
a
take of the day.
bust.
So, Jalen, let's go to the Bears at 10. Genty's not there.
Huh.
You have a couple, primarily defensive guys in the top 5, top 10 available, though there is some good offensive line. The Bears did just go heavy offensive line in the offseason, though.
Who did we take, Sam? Just quickly at 9. Who did we take? I missed it.
Walter Nolan, the
Okay,
D
thank
lineman
you.
from Mississippi.
I'm
Ole Miss.
taking, like I've been saying all along, Kelvin Banks for the Chicago Bears. I mean, he gets out the stance quick. He played 42 games at Texas. He can really block power rushers. It's still like I know that we have. I think I forgot what his name was. I was talking to my dad about it yesterday, but I just think that I think Kelvin Banks is the best fit for the Bears. I mean, yeah, we got a lot of offensive line, but injuries happen a lot, especially to the offensive line. So
You can never not have enough O-line help. You can never not have enough.
Jayla,
So I agree with that.
he gets
do
a
you
lot
like
of push
Banks
in the
more
run
than
game.
Membu from Missouri?
Yeah, I was gonna say what?
What's up?
Membu.
You like
from
him more than the
Missouri?
guy from Missouri?
Yes.
Why?
Whoa.
I just what I've seen from him in the college football playoff was enough for me.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
He was pretty good.
He is
And he's played in big moments and a lot of winning football. So with a
6'4".
prospect that's should have been a first rounder, but he fell off.
They're both very comparable in terms of size, but I think Banks just had the slightly better combine. So I could see that happening. I think Mabo is just there's more name value to Armand Mabo right now. However, it could go either way. I think Banks might be taken a little earlier than people think. Let's go, Nolan, here to the Niners, the 11th pick.
Yeah, I think both those. I think Banks will probably be the only one left of the three big O linemen for the Bears by the time that they'll pick anyways.
Yeah.
But I'll take Armand for the Niners here. They would love to have him fall to them at 11.
Beautiful.
And
Got to protect
think a
Brock.
nice juicy O tackle there, one of the biggest ones in the draft for Brock Purdy. They would absolutely love it. Their mouth would be watering if they had that pick for them.
And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, Trent Williams is going to be heading out of the league soon. He's going to be retiring.
He's
soon.
old. He's getting
36
up there,
years old. 36 years old. Father Time's going to catch up to him at some point. You might as well find a guy that he can, Mabo's going to be sitting behind one of the best left tackles in our era.
Yep.
For a season or two.
They are, that's one of their biggest needs. O-line is one of their biggest needs. This is a team that I think just kind of had a down year because of injuries.
Horrible year.
They would love to beef up that O-line and be even better when they come back next year.
Nas, you have the Cowboys at 12.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what this is. Dude, this is, oh my goodness.
I mean, disrespectful to even.
Draft day trade, they moved Dak to the Giants and trade up to 3, take Cam Ward?
Hell no.
No, it's not
Cinema. That'd be amazing.
Actually, that's actually not a bad idea.
To the Giants, their rivals, not gonna happen. No.
I was just pulling teams out of a hat, but I mean that could be a situation I actually see happening where Dak Prescott gets moved on draft day and the Cowboys take a quarterback.
I think he's gonna go to the Browns, not the
zero chance.
There's no way because they can't cut Watson. They just can't. There'd be too many budgetary restrictions. But let's keep going here. Dallas at 12.
Oh man, dude. They need a running back, and the Cowboys' move would be to take like Skittles first round, which is Scatterbug, by the way. But
what is he going first round?
I'm
not even the second best running back in this draft.
I'm gonna go Luther Burden. I think that's a safe wideout pick to pair with CeeDee Lamb from Mizzou.
I like that too. Luther Burden's
over
got
Golden.
Size.
They're taking the Texas man if he's there.
Well, let me see. Hold on, because he's top of my list right now. Matthew Golden
from Texas.
Yeah. I was thinking of Mika Egbuka.
He's currently ranked number 25 in the entire best available.
Right.
He's the number, I think he's pretty much the clear number 2 besides McMillan.
I'm really stuck on those three: the Ohio State, Egbuka, Burden, and Golden. But I'm gonna go Burden this one though. I'm gonna go Burden.
Luther Burden's a sneaky receiver. I think he's gonna end up being one of the better guys out of this class.
I agree.
Pick 13, Jalen. You're back in this first of 4 rotation now. Pick 13. You have the Dolphins.
Ooh, that's an interesting one actually.
Dude, McMillan was taken, right?
Yeah.
McMillan is gone. Yeah. McMillan went to the Panthers.
It's interesting.
I think they should take. I think they should take Michael Williams from Georgia.
Edge rush out of Georgia.
Their offense doesn't need work. Their offense is fine. They need defense badly, and they need an edge.
Michael Williams heading to the Dolphins. I have the 14th pick. This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. I'm going Tyler Warren here.
Whoa.
I think tight end has been their biggest glaring need. They haven't had a stud tight end
or Ali Cox
like ever, almost ever. Mo Ali Cox can only get you so far. That's my firm belief. And he was a basketball player at VCU and then decided, you know what, screw it. I'm going to the NFL. Became a tight end. So he's only going to take you so far. Yeah, he's only going to take you so far. A and B, they haven't had a name value like great tight end since Eric Ebron was there. And even he wasn't
Ooh.
that great as a Colt.
What a name.
Name value tight ends like Kobe Fleener. Like, I mean, this is their chance to get a solid weapon that can work both as run pro and as a pass catcher. And Tyler Warren is arguably the most talented tight end in this entire class. You look at PFF's rankings, Colston Loveland is also up there. But if you don't get one of Warren or Colston Loveland, it falls off big time. You won't see another tight end get taken until probably Harold Fannin in like the late second, early third. So I got to go with Tyler Warren here for the Colts. Nolan, let's go to you. 15, you have the Falcons.
I think this is an easy pick for Atlanta. I think they're going to grab one of the two edge rushers. I think that Walker is slightly better than Michael, but I think that they're going to grab either one of the two, assuming that they're not both taken by this time, which I don't think they will be yet, because I think that around this time from like 15 through 17 is going to be kind of an edge party. Pause. But
an edge fest, if you will.
Yes. But yeah, Jalen Walker, I think, is going to be the pick here for Atlanta. The Georgia guy gets to head home to the hometown team.
Wait, say who again? Sorry, wait, who was it?
Walker.
Jalon Walker
Walker.
From the Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia Bulldogs.
Heading to the Falcons, staying in state. Nazir, you have the Cardinals.
Hold on, is Walker a D lineman or edge rusher?
He's a linebacker.
He's an edge rusher.
Yeah, linebacker.
Yeah.
Linebacker on PFF.
Listed as a linebacker on PFF.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought he was an edge rusher. Okay, whatever. Look, I love my Cardinals, man. I think they need a guard, man. They need something on O-line to protect Kyler Murray a little bit better. I think the guards in this draft aren't great, but I think I have no idea who they're gonna take, dude. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna just go Josh Simmons from Ohio State. I think that's a safe tackle pick. They can move around the O-line a little bit, make someone a guard. Maybe they can transition him to a guard or one of the other experienced players. I'm gonna go Josh Simmons for them.
And linemen are very adaptable too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing. So
linemen all play that they've played that every position on the O-line at least once in their life. So
Jalen, you have the Bengals at 17.
I'll miss my rotation and then I'll go at number 20.
I'm confused here. You had 13, now you're at 17.
I know, but if y'all three go ahead, I'll be able to pick my Broncos team.
Oh, okay. Cool. That makes more sense. All right. Let's go to the Bengals then. I'm going to make this easy and take Mike Green. He fell down the board quite a bit. And I think this is a situation where he can fall down the board a little bit.
Yep.
Simply because he's from Marshall. And Marshall's not a great football school. Yep. So I think that Mike Green will fall down the draft boards quite a bit. He has good size, 6'4", 250. He's a redshirt sophomore, had a PFF grade of 92 this year in 13 games played, 17 sacks. I just think he's one of the more talented numbers-wise in this draft class, but simply because he's from Marshall, this is actually a situation where I could see him falling to like the mid to late teens, maybe early 20s in picks. Let's go number 18, Nolan. You are a Seahawk now.
Yes, indeed. And just to quickly touch on Mike Green, he's one of those guys. There's always at least one guy in the draft that could go super high or fall all the way down. I mean, there's a small chance, probably not, but there's a small chance Mike Green could get into like the late 20s, and there's a chance he could go as high as 8. So yeah, that guy, he's one of the more unpredictable guys in this draft. But for Seattle, this is a team that is going to go receiver here. Look, they just got rid of their number one guy in DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett is getting super old. They have Jackson Smith and Jigba as really their only big wide receiver threat right now. I think that they're going to snag Matthew Golden if he's here from Texas. I think that's it seems like from everything I'm seeing, Seattle is going to aim for a wide receiver. Even some people saying that they're going to trade up to get one. I think that Golden is sitting pretty for them at 18.
All right. At pick 19, we have Nas, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
They're going linebacker. Jahad Campbell from Alabama.
That's a good pick.
Easy
pick. All right, Jalen, Number 20, you have the Broncos.
Marion Hampton, North
Yes,
Carolina.
sir. Yeah,
There you
that
go.
I
is-
need
Good
that running back.
pick.
I need him.
There
I
you
need
go.
him. I need him. I like
Good
McLaughlin. I like McLaughlin a lot, but Hampton has a blend of power. He got
What
some
about
quickness
Skittles?
and some speed that's impressive to me. At 221 pounds, he ran a 4.46 at the combine. That's enough for me.
All
Nas, I'm
right.
gonna let you know right now, Skittles is not going first round.
That's bullshit. I don't believe that. He's going first round somewhere.
He knocks defenders back and all that stuff. Yeah,
Hampton
I need a Marion Hampton
number 2, yeah.
Broncos uniform.
At pick 21, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm going to go Jackson Dart. I've been saying it
You are
this whole
tripping.
time. I've been saying it this whole
Come on.
time. I'm going Jackson
Over
Dart.
Milroe? Over Riley
I-
Leonard? Will Howard? What are you talking
Definitely over
Definitely,
Leonard and
yeah.
Howard.
No.
I
Definitely
can
over
say
those
Leonard.
two.
There's no
I-
way
oh,
they
yeah,
go
I'm
Dart
100%
first
over
round,
those
though,
two.
if Shadur's not there.
100% over those two.
Over Jalen
I
Milroe.
think that's
Yeah.
the debate.
That's the debate.
No,
That's
that-
tough.
that- that's not
Jackson
the
That's
Dart
the
is
debate.
Jalen
definitely
Milroe
gonna
I'm
is
be
just
doing it.
third.
much higher on Jackson
Shit,
Dart than I
right,
am on
right.
Jalen Milroe, simply because Alabama quarterbacks do not pan out in the NFL. The
They
one
do
that
with Mike
has
Tomlin.
is the one that has been Jalen Hurts by way of Oklahoma.
They do with Mike
That's
Tomlin.
really it. Tua, it would be okay if he could stay away from getting his bell rung like once every 4 games.
Bryce Young is gonna
And
be
on
good.
top of that, Bryce, the jury's still on Bryce Young. I'm more than willing to accept that. But like the best guy since then has been AJ McCarron. Like I mean, it's Alabama quarterbacks don't pan out in the NFL. And if I'm the Steelers, I look at that trend and I think that Jackson Dart's a little bit more of a safer play. That's just the way I see it.
All right,
And
let's move-
he's
let's
definitely
move on.
better. He's definitely better than Riley Leonard. He's definitely better than Will
No, he's not.
Howard.
He's not better than Riley
yeah.
Leonard.
Especially Will Howard. So
Better
you, Nazir and Jalen, you guys are both Chargers fans. I'll let you guys duke out who wants to take this pick,
I'm not
and
a
then one of you's
Chargers
a
fan,
Packer.
but he's the Chargers fan.
Nolan and I are Chargers fans.
I'm
Nolan's
the
a Packers
secondary
fan.
Chargers fan, but I'm okay with letting Nas have the Chargers here if I could take the Packers.
Go ahead. I'm gonna go Colston Loveland.
That's a
Good
good
move.
That's a good pick. That's a good
I
pick.
want
Did I say Jalen instead of Nazir? I tripped. That's on me.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
good.
I was I tripped. Nas and Nolan are our in-house Chargers fans.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go Loveland.
Colston Loveland to
Harbaugh
the
gang.
Chargers at 22. Nolan, you have the all-important Mark Murphy's last first-round pick.
Trade it.
Are you
Cook
ready
something.
for this?
No, dude, do not trade it. Do not trade it, because if you do, I am not going back to day 2 of the draft.
Trade it.
I can promise you that. I will not be there.
So if you're a Green Bay Packers fan, let me just break it down for you here.
It's gonna be a good clip.
We are not going to select a wide receiver. It will not happen. I don't care if McMillan is still sitting here. We will not take a wide receiver in the draft. I guarantee you. I will put
That's
my
just not the
life
Green Bay way.
savings on it. I will put my life savings on it. That even if McMillan
$10.
or any of the good receivers are sitting here.
Wow.
That's one way to catch a stray. So who are we going? Pick 23.
The Packers here, the smart pick would be to take Will Johnson for Michigan.
I love it.
That's a
I
good
I
pick.
like that
I
pick.
like
Not bad.
Well, I
I
didn't
like
say I'm going to pick him.
Oh.
No,
Oh.
I'm going to pick him. I'm going to pick him. Will Johnson will be the pick here. They're okay with taking a cornerback in the first round. Look, we're not sure what's going on with Jair. As far as we know, they're still looking to trade him. As far as we know, there's still, is a good chance he's not on the team, but he is on the team this year. But they still need a cornerback. Even if he is still on the team, they're going to need a cornerback. And Johnson, I think, is one of the better ones here in the draft. So
You want
it would be
Barron?
a tough choice between him and Barron out of Texas, but I think they'd take Johnson.
Okay. All right.
All right. We're swinging back around to Jalen at 24
I will forever
with the
pray.
Vikings.
I will forever pray on the Packers' downfall.
I can
But,
see Skittles going.
I think they need a safety. Nick Amawori from South Carolina would be a good fit for them. 6'3", has a 40-inch vert. Ran a 4.4 at the 40. So I think
Yeah.
he's long arms, tall frame. So I think they need a safety because they a
South
lot of
Carolina,
times they
right?
got beat.
Yeah,
lot.
South Carolina.
South Carolina, yeah.
South Carolina.
Over
So-
Starks.
You don't want
Yeah,
Malachi?
over Malachi Starks.
He's still there.
Yeah,
That's
as of right now, yeah. I
Really?
mean,
Okay.
yeah.
You know, there's going to be in the draft, there's going to be some guys that fall. We saw Mike Green fall from projected like 8 to 17. Amen Wari going from projected like 40 to 24. I mean, that we're going to see that in the draft. I mean, go back to a few years ago. Alex Leatherwood was projected like a day 3 pick. He got taken 17th
that
overall
was-
by the Raiders.
He had
Right,
That
he
was
had-
John
he-
Gruden. No, that was.
He
That
had
was
almost
John
100 total tackles.
But yeah, I think that's still a good pick. I think that he's still a first round caliber guy. I think that there's a chance that he'll be towards the later ones here. You know, they could.
4 interceptions last season too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I have the Texans here at 25, and I'm going to go the safe route, give some extra help to CJ Stroud in that receiver room, compliment Nico Collins, and I'm going to go with Emeka Egbuka from Collins' rival Ohio State.
It's a good one.
Love it. Great pick.
26. We have Nolan
Would we
with
take it 25? Sorry. It cut out.
Emeka Egbuka.
Okay.
At pick 26, Nolan, you have the Rams.
Ooh, they really need it, but they're young.
Yeah, this is a situation where I think the Rams would have liked to have Egbuka.
Not gonna lie, they're gonna take a quarterback. That's my opinion.
Like, there's no way that Jalen Milroe is getting taken in the first round. There's just no chance. I really don't even think Dart's going to be taken in the first round. But I just think that there's more needs on this team than for them to go reaching for a quarterback like Jalen Milroe here in round number 1. They could easily, just make a trade up in round 2 to try and snag him. So here I think
you have the Stafford lookalikes in like round 4 or 5. Quinn Ewers, Kyle McCord, Curtis Rourke. You got those guys too.
Yeah. So I think that they're going to go defense here. One of their biggest needs here is cornerback, and Jahdae Barron is still sitting out there. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the draft. They're going to take him if he's available there at 26.
All right, Jahdae Barron to the Rams at 26. Let's go Naz at 27 with the Ravens.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Oh, it's a Super Bowl pick right here. Who are we gonna take here, guys? I didn't even think we were gonna get this. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go. Ooh, man, what do they
Have
need?
salivating and hurry up and pick.
No, I don't know. I don't know who they need, bro. I'm trying to think. They need
PFF says guard, edge rusher, DB.
right.
Edge rusher is a big need for them. They also need safety, and Starks is sitting out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say safety or edge rusher. I think I like Stark more than Donovan, as however he says his last name, from Boston College, or James Pierce would be pretty good. Yeah, I think James Pierce would be a good pick too. But I'm gonna go safe pick. Malachi Starks. He's been sitting here way too long. I think that's a great pick for them.
Best player on the board pick. You're going to see a lot of
100%.
teams do that in this draft, and especially in a semi-weaker draft class. You're going to see a lot of teams just go best player on the board. Jalen, 28 with the Lions.
My cousins are gonna eat this one up because they're all Detroit fans and they're from Detroit. My dad might eat this up, but I think they go Shamar Stewart from South Carolina, edge. He had the best broad jump.
Texas A&M.
He had the best broad jump at 10'11", and the second best vertical in all the edge rushers at 40 inches, and then he ran a 4.59 as a 40.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So that, I think, put him along on the other side. I think of Aiden Hutchinson. I think it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another
Very
best
good.
player on the board pick. They could easily do that there.
Yeah,
And they need to draft offensive coordinator.
So I have the Commanders at 29 as my final pick, and this is kind of a toughie because they've been making moves. They've been making moves. You know, I was considering that, Naz. I was considering Cam Scatterbo.
That's perfect.
I was considering it. I don't know if that's the need they want, if that's the hole they necessarily need to fill right now. You still have Eckler, Brian Robinson's still there, and Chris Rodriguez as an RB3 is not a terrible option either in case one of them goes down. So I can't justify taking a running back here when there's, in my mind, no first round running back talent available right now.
Unbelievable.
So I'm going to go probably with Josh Connerly, the tackle from Oregon.
Okay,
here.
I'll give you that.
Boost the offensive line, and just I think he gets a little look over Gray Zabel simply because he's from a Power 4 school, from a
Yep.
team that just made the playoff, and he was protecting Dylan Gabriel all year, who a lot of people all season thought Dylan Gabriel might have messed around and won the Heisman, right? So I got to take his blindside tackle, Josh Connerly, here.
Yep, that's a good pick.
So number 30, Nolan, you have the Bills.
The Buffalo Bills. Yeah, this is a team that I think they could go in so many different directions here, honestly. I think that they really need D-line. I think that they're going to go defense here. I think that they're pretty set offensively. I could see them taking a cornerback here. Kind of depends on who's available. I think that a guy like Trey Amos or Siobhan Revel Jr. could easily go here. But I think that with the D linemen that are currently on our board, with guys like Derek Harmon and Kenneth Grant sitting out there, I think that they're easily going to go with one of them. I think Kenneth Grant is a touch better than Derek Harmon.
Yes.
I think that they're pretty close, but I will go with Kenneth Grant here for Michigan for the Buffalo Bills.
I think the Chargers will take him in real life, Kenneth Grant, but I want them to take a tight end, but Kenneth Grant is like a very, very good D lineman. So that would be a great pick for them.
Michigan's got a lot of defensive talent and just a lot of talent overall in this draft. Mason Graham, Will Johnson, Kenneth Grant, 3 guys from that starting 11, all in the first round.
Yes, sir.
So let's go, Nas, with the Chiefs at 31.
After that
what's going to
Super
get
Bowl-
them back to a ring?
After that Super Bowl, it looks like they need some O linemen, man.
Quarterback.
Quarterback.
Oh, they're 100% taking Jalen Milroe right here.
Jalen Milroe.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, whatever.
The Patty replacement. The Patty replacement in 12 years.
With their team, dude, they really, I think they really need an O lineman right now. That's what everyone keeps saying. That's what everyone was saying afterwards of the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna go. I don't know if I should take Donovan Jackson or Tyler Booker because they need a tackle after watching them get destroyed on the edge, but the interior was also getting destroyed, because the Eagles D line is absolutely absurd. So I think I'm just gonna go Tyler Booker because that's a safe first round guard. He's very strong. He plays at Alabama. He has a lot of experience. That's a pro level program. Tyler Booker is. You could go either way. Donovan Jackson was a champion now. So, but I'm gonna go Tyler Booker for the interior online for them because that's
sleeping on Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State.
I like him too, dude. But Tyler, I mean, like Sam was saying before, like he's a better school, better program.
Protecting better players,
right?
Yeah, I wasn't trying to argue with you. I was just giving Gray Zabel a little love. I do think that
Zabel's good though. I was looking at him too, but I got to go with Alabama there.
So then Jalen close it out. The Eagles at 32. How are they going to repeat their success? Who's going to get them back?
He stole the pick that I thought they were going to get.
That's a good. I'm telling you, dude, that's a good pick.
I thought they were going to take Tyler Booker, the Eagles.
You can go the Ohio way.
But did Justin Simmons get taken? Or Josh Simmons?
Josh Simmons. I don't know if he got taken.
Yes, he is gone. Simmons has been gone for a while. Let me find him.
And I'll take Josh Cornley out of Oregon.
Josh Simmons was taken by Nas with the Cardinals at 16. And you are taking who?
Cornley Jr. From Oregon.
I took him. Yep, I took him with the Commanders at 29.
Yeah, they'll probably take Gray Zabel from North Dakota State.
Gray Zabel is still there. Gray Zabel at 32. So PFF is going to give us our little grades here at the end, but that is our official Shot of Sports mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
These will be posted online, by the way, fellas, so we can check these out, and I got mine up as well. So,
yep. So at the end of the day, I didn't pay for PFF, so I can't get the draft grade. Dang it. Well, anyways, I think we did good though. I think we did good. You have it up, Nas?
Here, let's see if I can present it to you guys. But
while he's doing that, we'll do a quick final thought, like 15 seconds each.
All right. Well, the Brewers are going to be my final thought today. Calling up Craig Yoho yesterday. Yeah, they had to send down Logan Henderson, but they quickly went from a holy shit, we don't have any starting pitching problem to holy shit, we have too much starting pitching problem. And those are both problems you don't want to have. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do here in the future. Nestor Cortez is on the 60-day IL now. That's going to give us a roster space till at least July. So I like Craig Yoho, though. Yeah, his debut was slightly bumpy, but he got a couple Ks last night. He looks good. The changeup is disgusting. He's another Devin Williams clone, just at 23 instead of 30. So I really like that direction that Craig Yoho is going in, and the Brewers in general. Keep sleeping on the Brewers. They're going to be just fine this year. They'll probably win 85, 90 games, make the wild card, not win a single playoff game. A tale as old as time.
It's a Brewers way.
Summer of fun. Summer of fun.
Boys, but I got it up on my screen. I'll screenshot it or something for you guys, but I got it all right here. I don't know.
You can tell us what grade we got if you can't present.
It doesn't say the grades. Let me see. Actually, hold on.
All right, quickly while you're still looking for it, my final thought will be:
Grading
Bucks
your
fans, again, do not panic if we lose tonight. Do not panic.
Yeah.
It is not done. I will not be worried in this series unless we are down 3-0.
Obviously, Dame is done.
Obviously, yeah, I don't think so. I think I'm going to give Dame a game to get back. If we lose tonight, and especially if Dame doesn't perform his best, I'm still not worried. I'm not going to be worried until we go down 3-0. Obviously, I'm not hoping we lose tonight. I really hope that we win and, we get home court advantage. But Bucks fans, do not panic. It's going to be okay. You can start panicking at 3-0 if it gets to that.
My final thought is the Cubs are going to win a division.
Okay, my final
They're
thought.
absolutely on fire right now. I mean, the bullpen sucks, but I mean they'll be all right. So I think they'll figure it out. Hopefully, we just signed a 36-year-old Drew Pomeranz, so we still find a way to do dumb moves, but that's just the way we are.
I didn't figure out how to share my screen. I don't know why it's not letting me, but it doesn't say our grade, but I did download it, so we'll have that up online, and we'll let you guys grade it, because that's what we're here for. We did the draft for you guys, so we'll have you guys graded. But I got it all up here. It doesn't say the grade, but if it does,
you mean to tell me there was a download button this whole time, and I just screenshotted it 4 times?
Yeah, I downloaded it, and you can copy image.
Think smarter.
Oh, dude. Sometimes I like to think harder. It messes up.
Just to test your brain.
Harder.
All right, we have Nolan on the cast today. We're gonna have his socials at the bottom as well, so you can follow him. Watch him as well. But subscribe, like, and share, and comment. Follow our podcast page. If you're on Spotify, come on over to the YouTube side and watch us video-wise, and you can react to us live while we're doing it. And we post real shorts, and we'll be posting a mock draft on our socials. So we'll see you soon, and thanks for watching Star Sports.